Good morning and thank you for joining us today for a Q&A with Southern Gold. Today I am joined by Chairman Greg Bolton, where we will be discussing the recently announced strategic update.
Good morning, everyone. The announcement in regards to the strategic direction of Southern Gold for 2022 and beyond marks an exciting time for the company. With our cash reserves of 6.5 million and the ability to reduce our holding in BNB as appropriate, we are well positioned to not only increase our exploration focus on South Korea, but also search for and evaluate strategic investment opportunities and projects in gold and copper within Australia. Our directors have a significant skill in exploration, investment evaluation, and deal structuring, and these skills will be used to develop a short list of gold, silver, and copper exploration opportunities for the board to consider.
Thanks, Greg. So our first question today is, with South Korea remaining the focus for the company's exploration programs, what can you tell us about the current work that is taking place in the country and who is leading these programs?
Sure. At the moment, we have Robert Smiley, our exploration manager, and he moved and based himself in South Korea back in October. This month, we have another 3 geologists, a senior geologist, a mapping technician, and a field worker. And couple that with other staff in South Korea, we'll have 17 people on the ground based in South Korea looking at further exploration work. They're supported by a executive director, BJ Kim, and BJ works with the community and gets access agreements. So we will now, having got through the winter, be boots on the ground in the field looking for specific prospects.
What does SAU intend to do with investment in BMV?
Yes, we now have 200 million shares in BMV, which is about 30% of the company. So at the last market valuation a couple of days ago, that's about 7.6 million Australian, and we're a 32% investor. Our approach is we won't be a long-term shareholder. We want to focus on exploration where they have specific skills in production and mining. But we will be supportive of their board and slowly probably trying to realise some cash out of it, but we generally won't be in for long term, but short term hope to realise some funds that we can use in Australia.
What has motivated Southern Gold to evaluate exploration opportunities in Australia, and how advanced is the search for investment in these assets?
We had some very successful exploration in Western Australia at a place called Cannon, where we not only found gold, but we mined that gold in joint venture with another partner. So we have a good understanding of the Australian gold sector. We're also going to be looking at the copper sector, and we think that it'll take probably 2 to 3 months to get a short list of projects that we'd like to work on. So one, the skill we've had in the past, and 2, our knowledge and our expertise and our experience from the past, we think we're well positioned to identify opportunities. Korea will remain our focus, but we want to have this second opportunity in the wings. And as we said, we think there's some opportunities to find something in Australia.
Our next question is, what is the key criteria you were looking for in your CEO?
Yeah, very interesting question. We want this person to take us forward for the next 7 or so years. So we're looking for someone that has actual experience as a CEO in a small cap company, experience in the ASX, some experience in gold or copper, and a track record of having achieved something. So there's some of the criteria. We expect the person will probably come from within Australia, and if they've had some experience in Asia, that would be valuable to the person we're looking to fill this role.
What impact is COVID-19 still having on the company and its ability to operate in South Korea?
It certainly had an impact last year. We've relied pretty heavily on consultants and contractors to fly in, fly out, to bring the expertise that doesn't exist in South Korea. And that for 2021 and part of 22 has been difficult. However, we've heard today that 3 of our people are able to get over to South Korea next week. They will have a 7-day period where they'll need to quarantine, and then they can provide the resource that we need on the ground. as I said earlier, that will give us the largest exploration team of any company in South Korea. And so we're ready to go, boots on and ready to get across those ridges and down the creeks.
And what attracted you to South Korea?
Very interesting. We've been there now for about 7 years, and there are a couple of things that made South Korea quite an opportunity for us. Number one, the second main language is English. So there is not the problems you have with communicating in some other countries in the world. Secondly, they had a very successful time looking for gold and actually mining the gold during the war. However, when the Koreans decided to focus on electronics, that work stopped after the war. And so there's been very little opportunity there to for explorers to look for gold. The other fact that's been very interesting is that the way we have tenements, the reporting of the tenements and the control of the tenements is fundamentally based on English law. And so again, that makes it quite convenient for us to be able to work and make things happen in South Korea. We find it almost an untouched frontier. However, we have seen success of one big firm called Ivanhoe, and Doug Kerwin and Craig Panther, who Doug's one of our directors and Craig one of our consultants, were part of the geological team that actually found gold in South Korea. So we now have their expertise with us. So we haven't started from a zero base, and that's why we're excited about the prospects going forward.
Our next question is, why should people invest in Southern Gold Limited?
Yeah, that's interesting. People, first of all, should understand we're an explorer. And I think the reality is that about 200 explorers actually find something. But we believe that in South Korea, there's some very unique opportunities, particularly in the gold sector. Number one, during the war, there's a significant amount of gold mined. And since the war, there's been very little exploration or mining work. We're looking to find gold in places where previously it was mined. And with our exploration techniques, we're able to identify areas that we think drilling would be worthwhile.
Thanks, Greg. That's all the questions for today. If anyone has any further questions, please feel free to reach out via the contact details at the bottom of our ASX releases. We look forward to hosting you again soon.